As a young man, you were taught to go to school and study hard and learn to compete, and that the pretty girl in front of you or one like her could be yours and your life would be easy. Well, gentlemen, you've been lied to. You were given the wrong map for how to succeed as a man. Because let me ask you this. As you watch your children play, do you have a nagging feeling that you're not going to get to watch them grow up? Do you feel like time is spiraling out of control and there's not enough of it to keep things going at work and put in the necessary time to repair your marriage? And do you ever have nightmares that your kid's stay-at-home mom will choose to be a working single mother? And if that happens, it will be your fault. While all the while astonished that you've succeeded in giving her everything she wants financially, and yet she tells you that it's not enough. She just doesn't feel loved. And is this ruining the present moment? Like you both have a fake happy face on, and you both know that this birthday party might be the last one you spend together as a family? Which leads to more nightmares of how your kids will suffer without you in the home to protect and love and raise them? Yet work always calls, and back to the marketplace you go to pay for the lifestyle that most women could only dream of, and that your wife says isn't enough. When what you should be doing is living the life that you've earned, with a wife who is a passionate, playful, compliant playmate, an advocate for the lifestyle you're building, loving you, appreciating you, and respecting you, and full of joy. And because she's an advocate and not an adversary, you're empowered to build everything bigger, and the lifestyle just keeps getting better and safer for you and for her and for your kids. And you know there's a better dream out there, like the one where your emotionally and physically safe and healthy kids graduate from college, and both their birth parents are there loving each other and celebrating with them as they do so. And instead of miserable vacations and lonely nights, between now and then, every day becomes one of joy and bliss, of memories made and lives well lived. And every night when you go to sleep, your dreams are good, resting in the knowledge that when you get old, you're still going to be happily married to the same woman who delivered your children. All high-achieving, successful men want this dream. So why is it that so many of us have struggled to find it, and there are so many more who never pull it off? So many men right now lie awake in bed at night with a life that is anything but happy. A life of constantly not being good enough, constantly being chewed out, constantly being reminded that no matter how successful they are in the boardroom, that they're failing in their marriage. Sadly, all too often their misery leads them to sedation in the form of overeating and lack of exercise, pornography, and booze. And as much as a man tries to avoid any form of sedation, eventually it catches up with him, and she serves him the papers. And deep in his heart, what breaks his heart the most isn't his own pain, but the pain that his failure has rained down on his kids. Well, what if you could fix it? What if you could not only have the business and financial life that you want, but you could so completely turn your marriage around that you could spend the rest of your life with a wife who acts like a college girl who has a crush on you? What if you could rest in the knowledge that your kids are happy and safe, and their hearts and minds are free of any toxic marriage damage, and instead they're nurtured and raised by you to have a life that is easier and happier than your own? And what if, instead of sedating, you had the mental, physical, emotional bandwidth and a wife who encourages you to get in the best shape of your life? And if she did the same, so that when you spend all the happy romantic time together, you have the bodies and the stamina to take advantage of how well your marriage is going in every room of the house, brother. And after you serve each other fully and completely in the most important room of that house, that service continues in the form of a couple who looks for everything possible that would make each other happy, and then gives those things to each other. And every day your children have the mental and emotional and physical bandwidth to become stronger and healthier and happier and safer. And you finally learn what it means to be married to a woman who craves your masculine leadership and willingly follows. Well, gentlemen, it's possible. Welcome to the Real Man Revolution. Now check this out. The only difference in the men who build it all, have it all, and keep it all, and you, is that those men have figured out how to hack their brains for success. So that rather than act in ways that make their marriage worse when things don't go their way, their go-to response actually fixes and strengthens their marriage. And they're not tempted by sugar and booze and pornography and affairs, but instead they find leverage on themselves to get better in their marriage, while at the same time getting better at business. And they do get better in 360 degrees. And you want to know how? They stop all the pretending and they start getting real. They stop buying their own BS and they start building the balances. And I'm calling on you as a man, as the leader and the king of your family, to stop buying your own BS and stop pretending that your marriage is going to get any better, that your kids are going to get any safer, that your professional life is going to thrive in this toxic marriage environment, that your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health is going to get any better, that your future is going to get any better. When you know in your heart and your mind and your soul that continuing to buy into your own BS and pretending that it's going to get any better on its own is nothing but a lie, and you're not doing anything to make any of those things better, either because you don't know how, or like most guys, you have an idea of how, but you just can't make yourself do it. You just can't pull it off without help. But brothers, it does not have to end that way. And that's why I'm inviting you to join the Real Man Revolution. We're a group of high-achieving, successful professional men who have stopped buying our own BS stories and started getting focused on being real, taking radical responsibility for and extreme ownership of every result in our life. We don't rely on the lies that men are sold about how to build and maintain the have-it-all marriage for the have-it-all lifestyle. We choose to extend, transfer, and extrapolate our elite-level business skills to quickly and efficiently become elite-class husbands, able to quickly, easily, and deeply rebuild trust and connection with our wife, and then go on to strengthen those bonds every day, leading her to want to become an elite-level wife for us. And the have-it-all marriage with a wife-turned-advocate enables and empowers us to choose increasing financial freedom and a synergistic marriage of intimacy, and kids who grow up emotionally healthy and strong and full of self-respect, and the time, energy, and growing discipline and motivation to build a body that not only gets great reports from the doctor, but earns the desire of our wife and the respect of other men. Most high-achieving, successful professional men have no clue how we pull this off. They're stuck in their own version of money is not enough, so I love you, but I'm not in love with you hell. And yet for us, inside this Real Man Revolution, it is happening every single day. It's happening through the art and science of what we call the Real Man Revolution. We take extreme ownership over our own minds and then train them and weaponize them for the good that we want in our lives. We go into battle with the things inside our brain that hold us back, and we learn how to flip those negatives into positives. So getting what we want in marriage, in business, in health, and in life becomes easier and easier. We choose the reality of financial freedom, building multiple streams of income that require less and less of our time. We choose the reality of a marriage and perpetual intimacy that becomes a literal contest between husband and wife for who can outserve the other. We choose the reality of healthy kids, kids with healthy bodies, healthy minds, healthy self-images who will grow up and continue this way of life. We are literally creating the legacy we love. And we choose to get stronger, more fit, more muscular in body and mind so that our body becomes the weapon we use to dominate the marketplace and build and maintain all of the above, which we call the have-it-all life. And you can join this brotherhood right here and right now by clicking the subscribe button and then heading on over to realmanrevolution.com to watch my free training. Because the only thing that's standing between you and the marriage you want, the happiness and abundance that only the have-it-all marriage can enable, and the happiness and abundance that the have-it-all life that results, is the work, brother. And your journey with that work starts right here, and it starts right now. Click that subscribe button and then begin your work with my free training at realmanrevolution.com. Let's do this, brother. Join now.